And the undefeated Bills take on their division rivals from New England on Sunday Night Football. Buffalo, unstoppable so far this season, with Allen maintaining his MVP form from 2024. The Patriots are coming off a dominant win of their own against the Panthers after another impressive performance from the former number 3 overall pick. We were just talking off air about how impressed you've been, Dan, with Drake May so far this season. So, do you have the Bills on upset alert this week?
Oh, absolutely. I'll start with Buffalo. 2 weeks in a row, they've looked flat, specifically defensively. Offense, they're completely fine. Defensively right now, and I want to put context on it that there's no doubt 2 starters, Milano and Ed Oliver, not playing. They're getting the ball run on them. I think they're like $150 a game giving up on the ground. That's a big problem. Number 2, they're really struggling in man coverage, and their eye discipline on defense is bad. Now I'll go to New England, and this is the biggest part of the conversation. Starts at the very top with Josh McDaniels, reminding everybody, elite offensive mind and offensive coordinator and play caller. Elite. Number 2, I don't know if there is a quarterback in football doing more for their offense than there is Drake May right now. He accounts for like every bit of yardage that they get, both in the air, on the ground. I love the way they're moving the pocket. He's being incredibly decisive. His connection with Stephon Diggs is very real. And I think the step of be where you're supposed to be when you're supposed to be there is a big deal there, because the trust that he has in Steph is outstanding. I'm telling everybody, these 2 tight end packages that they run, that's a problem for Buffalo. These 2 running back packages that they run with Travion Henderson is a problem. They use Travion Henderson a little bit like a Debo or a Jahmyr Gibbs. This is a big-time test for the Buffalo Bills, because I think New England is a up-and-coming football team.
I think it's a huge test for the Buffalo Bills, but I don't have them on upset alert because Josh Allen's one of the greatest players in the world. When you need Josh Allen to step up and make plays, it's gotten to the point where you're surprised if he doesn't. And he's kind of in like this Michael Jordan, Kobe, LeBron flow where it's like, I need to do what has to be done to win games. I don't always have to go above and beyond. And so I believe that the Buffalo Bills win this game, but I want to get to Drake May and the Patriots as well. Before the season started, we were on Get Up and they asked me, what is the one thing we aren't talking about enough? And I said, who Drake May could be. You have the first week against the Raiders, and it's not great, right? He's trying to figure it out. You go on the road. You win against the Dolphins, and you start to find some things. You start to find Kayshon Boutte. You start to use Ramondre Stevenson in the pass game. There's that pony personnel with Travion Henderson. And so now you're starting to see him and Josh McDaniels gel, right? And then you go to the Pittsburgh Steelers game, and I know people who didn't get a chance to watch every snap just looked at the loss. They just turned it over. They just turned it over. But you could see this young man gaining confidence. And what I want to see on Sunday night is when you're standing across from Josh Allen, how do you present? How do you show up when he goes down and score? Can you match him, right? Yeah. Can you have the poise in the pocket late in the game to make plays? And if we see that, that lets you know that this team is continuing to ascend.
I'm telling you, this is a dangerous game for Buffalo, man.
It's a dangerous game for Buffalo, but listen, at the end of the day, it's like they don't. You got competition coming because New England is letting you know they're on the come up, and I get that part. But in the same breath, the game is in Buffalo. I'm not really worried about the New England Patriots winning this game. I just don't see it happening. If they had been in New England and Foxborough, that would be a bit different. But the way that Josh Allen has been playing, the way that these brothers have been preparing, they prepared for this season, they know that they're probably the team to beat in the entire AFC. And they're playing like it. In the case of the New England Patriots, I'm looking at Drake May, and I appreciate you being the Steeler that you are, pointing out how, New England only lost the game because of the turnovers. You see what I'm saying? I appreciate that. It was very nice.
Actually accurate.
I know
it's an accurate statement.
It's totally accurate. But in talking about New England, I just appreciate you bringing that up because you're such a truth teller. You're such a truth teller. You got to remind everybody that the Steelers were lucky to win that game. It's very nice of you. I appreciate that. Bottom line is this, though. Andre Stevenson, he's running the football effectively. Stephon Diggs has been, he's got 19 receptions.
They went over 100 yards last game.
That looks good.
Yeah, he played well.
I'm just thinking that they're still on the come up. I'm not really worried about Buffalo losing this game. I'm just not.
Vegas has him as 7.5-point favorite.
Here's the worst part. On Sunday night, well, he'll be asleep. On Monday morning when he wakes up and starts watching the film, he's going to retweet this that I told Stephen A and RC that the
That's what he
Patriots
does.
are going to win.
You are that
Good
petty.
engagement.
You are that petty kind of person.
I'm petty.
That's right. I really do.
From the bus, Will Compton, let's start with you. Give me a hot take looking ahead to Monday night.
Jaguars take care of the Chiefs. Jaguars take care of the Chiefs. They're going to win this game. I know Chiefs, everybody feels like they're back. They're not. Jaguars are going to win this game.
Tale as old as time.
It's actually a fascinating game because we'll learn a little bit about Kansas City and we'll learn a lot about Jacksonville. People, I don't think, are taking them seriously yet. If they win this game, I think everyone will have to. Taylor, give me another bold take about a team everybody loves.
I believe the Green Bay Packers are on fraud alert. We crowned them early in the season. They have everything going for them. When they lose to the Browns, Micah Parsons coming back to AT&T Stadium, and they end up tying a team that has the worst defense in the NFL.
After losing to the Browns. So help me with exactly what fraud alert means. Does that mean they're not a legitimate Super Bowl championship caliber team, or does it mean they just don't know how to handle their prosperity? I guess what I'm asking you is, in this particular case, what do you mean by fraud?
I think they have
I'll take this one.
I think they have the players, but when it comes to the game plan, watching the Packers' defensive game plan against the Cowboys, we talked about Eberflus, how he runs zone 96% of the time. And then the Packers go, you know what's a great idea? Let's run zone against Dak Prescott when that's all he saw in training camp. They ran it 83% of the time. He had 263 yards and 3 touchdowns off the zone.
We said they were the best team in football, and then they tied the Cowboys, who we, into that week, said were one of the worst teams in football.
What's the face, Daniel? What's the face?
I don't think so.
Let me make sure I'm understanding what we're saying here, because good teams have bad days, right? They lost to the Browns. I guess what I'm asking is, by fraud, do we mean they're not as good as we thought they were? Or I mean, they didn't just stub their toe?
No, I would strongly disagree with that statement. I think in that game what happened was there was such a lack of rerouting by the secondary in Green Bay. Because if you watch the game, Michael was sensational. And it was only because Dak was a click better than sensational that the game went that way. They never threw off the timing of Dak in the pass game. You got to reroute receive. And I think this is for Green Bay, personally. I think it's for a lot of defenses in the NFL. There's a reality of the timing and rhythm for these quarterbacks right now, specifically the NFC guys. Most of those quarterbacks are timing and rhythm quarterbacks. If you are going to consistently give free releases, unrestricted releases to the receivers down the field, quarterbacks are going to have a lot more success. The reroute has to come back into the NFL. They have to put hands on these receivers.
Okay, let me get to the last one, though, because that game, of course, ended in a tie. Will, give me your final hot take from the bus.
The NFL should adopt college football overtime rules. However, the one thing I'll change, move the ball back to the 50. You see the legs in this game these days. You can see some 60-yard bombs out of these field goal kickers. Place the ball at the 50. College football overtime rules. After the first overtime, after they both score, you got to go for 2, starting after that.
So we're not doing a 10-minute overtime anymore. We're immediately going to this.
Get away with the clock. I want to see a winner.
Clock's off. You got to have a winner and a loser. This is football.
Yeah,
Get
okay.
it done. Figure out a way.
I'm with it.
So
I'm with
thank
it.
you.
I'm
to
on
be
it.
clear, Will, you and I have just getting to know each other, and I love you. We're going to have our first fight here.
Okay. Blood pressure's high.
College football overtime is contrived nonsense. In fact, I usually, when I'm not on the air, will use a different word. It is contrived and another word that starts with the letters B and S. All right? It's ridiculous. It is a ridiculous way to end a football game. They have had overtime in pro football for 52 years. Games used to end in a tie. Go back and look, like in the 60s, the Packers, their records would be like 9-2 and 3. Like games would end in a tie all the time. So they decided to put in overtime. In the 52 years there have been overtime, do you know how many games have ended in a tie? 30.
Look at that face.
We're talking about one every.
My team was one of
like
30.
roughly once every other year, a game ends in a tie, and we decide we need to change rules based around that. I haven't heard a way to do it that is better than what they currently do. If you want to tweak, each team gets the ball, touchdown doesn't end it, all that stuff, I'm here. You want to decide something that matters this much, like Penn State. Penn State went from, we're winning the national championship, to we're probably out of it, based upon, like, they put the ball on the 20th